of recording.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
What?
So apparently the story of why it's just no 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 no, it's because the words were like too American, and because it was supposed to be like cowboy related, and in the last minute for Russian television he had to just nix all of the words. And
Oh my God. They censored his song. And so he's just like, let's just go out there and make some sound effects.
yeah, exactly.
Oh God. Oh my God, bro.
It gets better. It gets better.
What?
Oh man.
That's nuts, man.
I can't believe you've never seen it before.
I might have seen his face. I've never heard that song ever. But like, were they threatening him with death, or is it like the people that approach him you just don't say no to? You just have to go with it, because that's the only way. If I'm about to sing a song and they're like, hey, you know the words to this thing that you wrote? You took the time. It's your art. Yeah, you don't do that. Like, so what am I supposed to do? Figure it out. Don't you say nothing. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm a genius. Fuck it. Genius. Genius. Fucking... Oh God. I didn't know, like, if there was a version of like an upgraded, newer version of brown noise, it'd be this.
Yeah, Trollolo guy.
That's holy crap. Now my mind has like a loading soundtrack. When I'm trying to think of something, it's just gonna be in the it just injected that to the depths of my mind. Jesus Christ. I'm not gonna be able to not hear that now when I'm just that 1,000-yard stare. That's just gonna be playing when Holly's like, "What are you thinking about it?" I'm just like, it's like my dude's bringing the thought to the front of my mind, and he's taking his sweet ass time. That's oh my god,
Busy
bro.
going. Oh, oh,
Oh, it was like intriguing, creepy, terrifying, inspiring, and somewhat. I feel like I need a shower. Like I don't know. It's all of those. It's all of those in one. That's nuts. That's nuts.
Now, hear me out, man. There is in the recommended. There's a 15-minute documentary of who the Trollolo guy is. Do you want to watch it?
Yeah. Fuck it. We live once. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
The Soviet singer. behind
Recently,
the
I've noticed a
Trollolo
lot of
song.
people.
Yeah, the Soviet singer behind the Trollolo song.
All right.
Recently, I've noticed a lot of people online being hit with a wave of nostalgia for that early 2010s internet humor. You know, back when people were obsessed with rage comics, troll face, bronies, and hating on Justin Bieber. Yeah, it was the good old days. And with this early 2010s nostalgia wave in mind, today I'd like to go back and take a look at a man who became an icon of this era of meme culture. He's the ambassador of internet trolls around the world, the Trollolo guy. Yeah, you know this guy. La 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 la. Alright, that's enough cringe. We can move forward. Back in 2010, this video featuring a Russian man giving a bizarre baritone vocal performance became a favorite bait and switch video amongst internet jokesters. Think of it as like the Russian version of the Rickroll. The Mr. Trollolo video was weird and it got the attention of meme culture. I mean, the guy's just gallivanting around the room singing and laughing with this cheery yet somehow smug expression on his face. It was just destined to be a meme. While most people have encountered Mr. Trollolo on the internet, very few actually know the story of the man behind the meme. Who exactly is Mr. Trollolo, and why did his performance recorded in the 1970s become famous on the internet 40 years later? And what has been the man's reaction to becoming an internet meme? We're going to answer these questions in today's video. This is the story of Mr. Trollolo. Are you tired of getting trolled by your face and body wash, rickrolled by brands that promise the most but just leave your skin feeling irritated? I know I was until I... Before the memes, before Trollolo, there was Eduard Khil, and Edward went through a lot before becoming the internet meme icon you know him as today. Let's start from the beginning. Edward was born September 4th, 1934 in Smolensk, USSR. And as you can probably imagine, growing up in Soviet Russia during one of the most tumultuous eras in human history, it probably wasn't easy for young Edward. During World War II, Edward's kindergarten was bombed during a Nazi invasion of the city. He survived only to soon after become separated from his mother during the city's evacuation effort.
I just feel like every Russian has a tragic story that was, you know, the older generation that's, you know, on the way out has a very tragic story.
There are no gumdrops and rainbows.
No,
and
not
the
at all.
previous generations past.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just one of overcoming complete misery that no one's experienced ever.
Yeah, yeah. And so that might be a reason that the Trollolo guy didn't hit until the 2010s.
Yeah.
Just a wild guess, but I'm gonna let them talk about it.
To soon after become separated from his mother during the city's evacuation effort. For the next 2 years, Edward would be an orphan and he was relocated about 1,000 kilometers to the east in the city of Bakovo, where he stayed at a foster home. This home was said to have been in poor condition, lacking basic facilities, and food at the time was scarce. It would be easy for someone in this position to become dejected and depressed, but not Edward. Edward found hope in his own voice. He was a gifted singer, and during wartime, he often left the foster home to visit the local military hospital where he would sing for the wounded soldiers.
Aww.
He honed his voice during the dark times and remained confident that things would eventually get better.
That's how you do it. That's how you make, you know, lemonade out of lemons. Just, if you have a gift and everyone's depressed, use your gift for good.
Yeah,
if you can.
You gotta be a light. Gotta be a light in darkness. 100%.
Exactly.
After Edward's home city of Smolensk was liberated from the Nazis in 1943, his life began to improve. After the liberation, Edward was taken from the foster home and relocated back to his home city of Smolensk. And fortunately, he was reunited with his mother here.
Wow.
After the war completely ended, the two would move to Leningrad, where Edward would finish school and enter college. Around the time of his college education, Edward would meet a woman named Zoya, and the two would get married and have a son together. Also during college, Edward's vocal talent would become apparent to the Soviet public when he began performing at opera houses around Leningrad, where he would earn fame thanks to his bold baritone voice. Folks around Leningrad really liked Ed, and his part-time singing gig would eventually blossom into a full-time one when there was more of a demand for his vocal talent. Throughout the 1950s and 60s, Eduard Khil became renowned throughout Russia for his performances of pop tunes and Russian folk songs, which brings us to a particular Russian song that was a favorite of Mr. Eduard Khil, a song called I Am Very Glad As I'm Finally Returning Back Home. The original version of this song was composed by a famous 20th century Russian songwriter named Arkady Ostrovsky. Now, the original version of this song was said to contain lyrics describing an American-like cowboy riding his horse home after being out on the trail for a long time and just having this overwhelming feeling of relief, you know, that he's about to be home and able to relax. And with this song referencing an American cowboy in mind, consider the Cold War propaganda machine running on all cylinders. Eduard Khil would be out of his mind if he performed this song publicly. Lyrics aside though, he loved the composition and its melody and overall positive vibe. He wanted to bring it to the big stage, so he got creative. Basically, Edward took the melody of this song and removed all the lyrics and replaced them with non-lexical vocal sounds. You know, the la 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 la, tra la 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 la, trollolo, you know what I mean. And what do you know, the Trollolo song as we know it now was born.
Oh my god!
Edward began performing.
Wow, okay, so he was performing it beforehand, before this, so...
Whoa.
As basically the Elvis of, or Sinatra of the USSR. Wow.
Okay. Okay.
All right. All right.
Okay, man.
Oh, wow.
Was born. Edward began performing his version of this song in the late 1960s, but the famous performance you're all familiar with was recorded in 1976 on a live television broadcast. While Edward's version of this song was indeed popular, it wasn't like a chart-topping creation by any means. It was just a happy, feel-good song that he had in his repertoire that he would bust out from time to time. Over the years, Edward's version of I Am Very Glad As I'm Finally Returning Back Home would be largely forgotten by the Soviet public, and Khil would move on with his career, performing until he retired in the 1990s, opting to spend more time with his family. Now, let's fast forward from the 1990s to 2010. The Cold War's over, Putin is riding a horse, and this little creation known as the internet is really popular around the world. And on the internet, memes are taking off like never before on websites like 4chan and Reddit. Rage comics, advice animal image macros, and of course the troll face are all in vogue. Trollface in particular was arguably at its peak popularity at this point, and so was the fascination with online trolling in general. In the early 2010s, being known as an internet troll was like the cool hip thing that every 14-year-old wanted to do. You know, you go on a forum and make a rage bait post or send somebody a troll face, and then you run to your high school buddies and you're like, bro, I epically trolled this guy on the internet. That's so much karma, dude. And there were many tactics of trolling that were popular at this time, but here are the big three in my opinion. You've got guys that would make troll bait YouTube videos, kind of like what Chad Warden did, or you had folks that would write a rage bait comment or a forum post, and then you had people using spoof links to send an unsuspecting internet user to a bait and switch video akin to the classic Rickroll. And
man, the good old days of the internet.
Golly.
Yeah, that was like almost 15 years ago.
That's
and
crazy.
And some of them never grew up.
Nope.
Some of them are still in the comment section.
Yeah.
We see at least one of them a week.
At least.
Yeah, minimum. There's a lot more some weeks. Depends on what we. I mean, this is the original clickbait. This is, you
This
know,
is it.
how you get attention on the internet.
That's crazy though. The dude just wanted to spread good vibes. Can't fault him for that.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Internet user to a bait and switch video akin to the classic Rickroll. And this Rickroll type trolling is where we circle all the way back to our boy Eduard Khil and his famous 1976 performance. On December 9th of 2009, a Russian-speaking YouTuber known as Real Papa Pit dug up an old archive of this performance and uploads it to his YouTube channel, adding the Trollolo tagline to the title of the song. Another YouTuber would clip just the portion of Edward laughing and upload it to his channel. This out of context clip of Edward laughing would be reposted to the RWTF subreddit, where it intrigued Western internet users who had no idea who the man was or why the hell he was laughing and singing so strangely. Needless to say, the video and the song was one of those things that would stick with you. You know, you would watch the video and it would remain with you for the rest of the day, and the song stuck in the back of your head and you just couldn't get it out. And with this effect in mind, this is where the trolls stepped in and started spreading this thing all over the place to mess with people. It worked exactly like the Rickroll. You make a post or a call to action prompting people to click a link, they click it, and well, they wind up somewhere where they didn't want to be. In this case, it was Edward laughing at their ass for getting tricked. It was a lighthearted prank and was all in good fun, and hell, some people decided to stick around and hear the rest of Edward's song. Because of the excessive amount of lolololols in the song and the fact that the video itself was funny and trolls were heavily involved in making this popular on the internet, that Trollolo title just kind of worked and stuck with this video. That's what the internet would forever remember Edward's song as. Trollolo would get tens of millions of views in the following months, and the video became the hot meme, with it not only being popular online, but becoming popular in mainstream culture. By mid-2010, this performance was plastered across the internet and was gobbling up YouTube clicks. It had established itself as an instant viral video classic by this point. But what of the man behind the Trollolo song, the talented Eduard Khil? Well, unbeknownst to many, the then 75-year-old Edward was very much aware of his living meme status, and boy was he thrilled that so many people were enjoying his song. Edward was beyond happy that his old song was given a new lease on life, and felt a profound sense of joy that it was bringing laughter to an entirely new generation. He embraced being Mr. Trollolo and saw the internet's sudden obsession with him as an unexpected blessing. At the time of the meme's peak popularity, Edward was frequently asked to sing the Trollolo song by passers-by on the streets of St. Petersburg, where if time permitted, he would cheerfully oblige, such as this example recorded by the Murinsky YouTube channel.
La 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 yeah 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 la 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 la
Hey!
la 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 wow и так далее.
Eventually,
Oh my god. That's awesome. Yeah.
He's
fact-
winning.
he's winning.
Yeah.
Man, it took till it was 75 to be recognized in the West.
That's
But hey,
that's crazy. That's a lot of lag right there. It took a long time for it to come, and we weaponized it.
yeah,
Not the way he meant, but hey, that's awesome.
yeah, it's that warms my heart, man. Really.
Yeah, man. Like, you never know. Listen, like, you never know when your time is when you create a piece of content. It may never come, but then again, he probably thought that was impossible.
Yeah,
when he recorded it, he was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever."
yeah. I mean, it served a purpose during his singing career until he retired in the 90s, but. And then at 75, man, and it's giving him a new lease on life.
La 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 wow и так далее.
Eventually, Edward would actually address the internet directly and thank everyone for keeping Trollolo alive, even inviting them to create their own lyrics for the song if they so pleased.
5-й год. Поэтому я хочу к вам обратиться, и чтобы вы сами придумали текст песни, вот этой вот, которая называется «Вокалист». Потому что в каждой стране, наверное, человек по-своему поймет эту песню. И после того, как вы напишете слова для песни, не обязательно для всей песни, одного куплета, может быть, 2 строчки. И после этого, когда вы напишете, мы соберемся в интернете все вместе, договоримся, когда, какой день, какое время, и вместе все споем вот на новый текст эту песню. Благодаря интернету и вот этой энергии, которая нас всех вместе соединяет, мы можем радоваться, смеяться, любить и воспитывать детей.
It seemed like he was having...
Man, yeah. Yes.
Again, this is the time where the internet brought us together. Now it does nothing but divide us. Where is this energy in 2024?
Dude, I love that. He's like, please write lyrics to it and we'll mash it up across people, cultures, languages, and make it happen.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome, man.
I love that. I really love that.
Мы можем радоваться, смеяться, любить и воспитывать детей.
It seemed like he was having so much fun with being a living meme, and about a year and a half or so after the Mr. Trollolo meme really popped off, he would actually come out of retirement for one last song and do a live performance of the Trollolo song on stage. In a way, circling back to that big stage performance in '76 that started the genesis of Trollolo.
That's awesome.
It would be an understatement to say that Mr. Trollolo was a beloved figure. He was a meme icon and represented the internet's offbeat sense of humor. His legacy as a meme will live on forever. That said, unfortunately, Edward himself is just a mortal man like you or I. On June 4th of 2012, the world was met with tragic news when it was being reported that Mr. Eduard Khil had passed away from complications caused by a stroke. He was 77 years old. When this news hit the internet, in a show of appreciation, users came together, flocking to the Trollolo video and left kind words and paid their respects to the Russian baritone who had brought joy to millions around the world. As an orphaned boy growing up in one of the darkest eras of human history, it would have been easy for Edward to be a person lost to time, a nameless casualty of circumstances out of his control. But Edward found a purpose early in life that not only guided him to success, but gave him hope. Bringing joy and happiness to others was that purpose. Through the vehicle of his voice, he helped others escape from their own momentary struggles, to get away from stress, and for a brief moment, smile. From the wounded soldiers in the military hospital to the opera house patrons of Leningrad and the millions of people on the internet, Edward reminded us to laugh a little, and for that, he'll be dearly missed.
Man, okay. One of the best videos out there right now.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I needed that. I was just restoring my faith in YouTube, you know, in humans.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. That's the way to do it, man.
That was just so wholesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna do good with our viewers, but fuck it. It's some positivity, and we need that in 2024. We need that energy.
1,000,000%. We need to be able to laugh together. That's
100%.
how we have to live and progress. Is
Yeah.
live and laugh together. you
Yeah.
know?
Take the lessons of Edward and
Yeah.
apply them to now.
Yep. Love that though. That
Yeah.
dude, I didn't know who he was until we started this thing.
Yeah.
24 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm glad you know him now.
Yeah, for sure. He will never be forgotten.
Yep.
Man, legend.
Anyway, Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Watch another video. Thanks, channel members. What now, Dan?
Unplug and go have fun. Laugh a lot.